Have you ever seen a news story about a company that was brought down by a data breach, a lawsuit, or maybe an accidental leak and thought, that can never happen to me? I'm here to tell you that it can and it does, and it is almost always preventable if you build the right guardrails. Today, we are going beyond the basics with data governance, security, and compliance, and you will get my complete download-ready checklist and worksheet so that you can put this into action today. Most failures aren't caused by bad code. They are caused by things like no data owners. It's everybody's job, which means that it's nobody's job. Outdated access permissions, ex-employees that still have access, third parties, and temporary admin rights hanging around for years after the fact. Secrets that are scattered everywhere, docs, emails, Slack, old scripts. Data being shared with vendors, partners, and even competitors, sometimes purely by accident. And no retention or destruction plan. We keep everything just in case is not a good retention plan. Zero paper trail when auditors come and lawyers come knocking cause all kinds of havoc at really critical moments. If you think that you're covered up because you set up access controls once, you are living on the edge. A Tennessee medical office lost everything after a ransomware attack. This mid-sized SaaS company spent 6 months in legal limbo because they couldn't prove who accessed what. And I've seen more businesses than I can count trust that passwords in their code or Google Sheets were good enough right up until their first audit, lawsuit, or breach. The result? Lost clients, 6-figure fines, and insurance headaches. Even some ended up in bankruptcy. You cannot skip out on governance, not in 2025. Data ends up getting created and nobody assigns any ownership. Access gets granted for a project and never gets revoked. You end up bringing on a contractor or a vendor and never officially offboarding them, leaving them with access into things that they really don't need to retain access to. People end up using and sharing production data without any type of data policy or governance. And finally, nobody reviews those logs that are important until something absolutely goes wrong. Training is optional and untracked, and that causes all kinds of chaos and issues when those crunch moments end up happening. These are cracks that breaches fall through. What's the worst data security or governance mistake that you've seen? Share your story down in the comments. Anonymously is fine. The best story gets a shout out and a copy of the full worksheet. Okay, I've built you a downloadable real-world worksheet that is more than a to-do list. This is what I use with my consulting clients and in real audits. Here's how it works. Every section is a guardrail to keep your business well within the bounds that they need to live in. Data asset inventory and classification. Every important data set, table, dashboard, log it here. Assign an owner. Set its sensitivity level. Is it public, confidential, regulated? Maybe it's PII. Define how long you're going to keep it, which again are your retention policies. Next, you have your access review. Here, list every user and third party that has access into your company's data. Remove anyone that's been inactive for 90 days, limit admin rights, and track when access was last reviewed and who signed off. Our vendor third-party access section lists every vendor or contractor with access to your systems. Track what they touch, when they got access, and when they were offboarded. Your secrets and credentials audit. This is so important. Find every credential. Move all of them to a vault, whether that's Azure Key Vault or AWS Secret Manager, whatever the case may be. Search your code and your scripts for any hard-coded secrets, API keys, and make sure that you replace every last one. Now, audit logging. Be sure that you are enabling your logs on every major asset or system. Review those logs monthly for any weird activity. Track your anomalies and don't just set it and forget it. Data quality and integrity checks. How do you know your data isn't corrupted, changed, or broken? Be sure that you're tracking validation methods, using things like checksums, QA jobs, and monitoring. Be sure that you're keeping track of your last check date and the issues that were found. For your change management section, be sure that you document every major change. Your structure changes, tool changes, access changes. Keep a change log with a date, a description, who approved it, and what your rollback plan is. For your data usage and sharing, log every time data is shared externally. Who, what, why, who approved it and when, and what the retention and destruction requirements are. For your quarterly security review, be sure that you're putting it on your calendar. Don't wait for some annual audit. Be sure that regular review is scheduled in your project plans. Regular review is the difference between catching problems early or after you're a headline. Incident response plan. Who is on call if there is a breach? Where are your step-by-step instructions? When was your last test drill? Be sure that you're doing those. Action log and remediation. If you find a problem, document the issue. Make sure that you're documenting your action taken, what the owner, who the owner is, and what the date completed was. This is your paper trail for auditors and any insurance issues that arise. Training and awareness. Has everyone with data access been trained this year? Who may need a refresher? And make sure that you track all those things. Policy acknowledgement. Get a signature from every key person with some type of responsibility to your data. Don't just send an email and hope that they read it. Summary and sign off. This is a one-page summary for our leadership. Who did the review, when, what's next, and what may still be weak. Be sure you like, subscribe, and share this with your IT, data, or business team, because one unchecked box can cost you millions. Download the full data governance worksheet below and build guardrails that actually work. Until next time, keep your pipelines clean and your queries lean.